let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerns. You can hear with some people gone. So tell all your friends to tune in to the
Good evening,
show.
Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you, from national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now here's Sabrina.
And all good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, one and all, to my friends and family near and far. I am back, live and direct, and hopefully bright enough to require that you may need some shades this afternoon. Well, it's good to be back after a week off that seemed like 2 days. I'm not going to lie to you. But it's time for another episode of Sabrina Speaks, Voices of the Islands, Conversations for the World, and the podcast where voices rise, stories unfold, and inspiration takes center stage. Now, I know I'm missing one of these links here for my, something is a little off here. Anyhow, I will sort that out. That's why today we're just going to do a more relaxed mode, because you know how it goes when you go on vacation and you come back. Well, my type of vacation, it's a little different, but my apologies if you don't see the stream on the Sabrina Turner live feed. But there's another one that pops up here. I am still on YouTube, though, under Sabrina Speaks, but I'll sort out the Facebook one for you later on. I see you, girl. I see you, my sweet, my content creators in bloom. You know how it goes. Like I told a friend earlier on today, it's one thing going on leave, but I totally, same thing I was saying to Eric. One thing, it's coming back. Coming back to work is another thing. I like one of those old Buicks where you it's gotta crank them up and get them going. Yes, I am supposed to be on Facebook. Now, where it is, only God knows. I have no clue where my Facebook thing went. Let's see here how we can do that for you. Let's see if we can find let's see what we can do here. I don't know what the heck. Yeah, but this happens, my love. There we go. Let's see if we can do this here in real time for you. Let's see what we're doing here to add this to the stream. Yep. Let's do all of this information here. Copy this link. There we go. Yeah, so please bear with me as I try to get this other link up here for you. And we're going to add this YouTube page, a Facebook page here. I don't know what I'm doing, but we're going to do something here today, right? We're going to do something. Now, it could be another page, but at least there we go. The connected ones. I'm not so sure. Here we go. Let's go. Interesting. I don't know. Oh, we'll get this all sorted out for you tomorrow for sure. Yeah, I see it. There we go. There we go. I'm there. So let's do the save change. I should be up Live and I'm watching on Facebook. Welcome back. Okay, good, Miss Valerie. Well, whatever I did. Oh yeah, back there. There we go. Must be the color. Must be the color. Thank you for that feedback. And for everybody else who is there, yeah, we look like we're up and we're running. We're going. There we are. So, I tell you about this live thing here. I am so much more confident. Oh, if this was a couple months ago, I would be have blobs of sweat running off of my forehead by now. Would be melting. Well, like I said, welcome back. It's good to be back with you. I got all your messages, phone calls, texts, you name it. Where are you? I didn't see you yesterday. I took a week off. It's not like I didn't give you all a week, but it's amazing how you're in that routine of knowing what you're going to do at 5 o'clock each evening. And then you log on and bang, I'm not there. But you know what? That said so much to me in regards to how many people look forward for this. I want to thank you for your support. And I've always shown my gratitude and appreciation to you throughout throughout this journey. I'm being honest with you, but you don't realize it until you're not live, you're not there. And for the amount of persons then who come up to you and be like, what the heck? We're missing you. What's going? One particular one said, fish out of water. You know exactly who I'm talking about. They were like a fish out of water. They were like, yo, hurry up and come back because this is not working. But today will be no different. We're going to ease on back in. We got a lot of stuff in store lined up for the rest of the week. We can see that there are a number of bills that are in circulation, include the Tenancy Act and all that good stuff that is out there. There's that big report, the Ernst and Young KPMG report that the Minister of Health and Sustainability had a press briefing on. We, with your permission, of course, you tell me whether or not you want us to go through that to really see exactly what was being said. Of course, I would have an interest. And we can break it down the way we do it here on the Sabrina Speak Show. But today, it's light, open mic vibes, and just what catching up with all of you is exactly what I'm doing because, you know, we're still in summer. Yes, a summer edition, and it's proudly sponsored. You know how we do it here. It is proudly sponsored by guess who? We want to thank our sponsor, Bridge Media Limited. Oh, yes. Not Bridge Media, Bridgepoint, Bridgepoint Consulting. Yes, for all of your consulting and immigration needs, just give them a call. The number is here. We want to thank them for their sponsorship and definitely professional guidance and the bridge that helps you move confidently into your next chapter. Please note this is by appointment only for your convenience, one-on-one bespoke services, and definitely for confidentiality as well. So you see the number on the screen. If it's just a simple guidance, simple, review, whatever, just give them a WhatsApp. Maybe they can help you. But just check it out. But we want to thank them for their sponsorship nevertheless. And like we said, it's good to be back here. But please do remember nothing has changed because the views expressed by callers, guests, and online commenters are their own and not those of Bridge Media Limited, its affiliates, the Sabrina Speak Show, or the host. This program is for general information only and not a substitute for legal, medical, financial, or professional advice. All participants are reminded to speak responsibly and respectfully. And any content that is defamatory, discriminatory, unlawful, or harmful is strictly prohibited and will not be endorsed or tolerated. Now, continuing on whatever platform you're streaming us live on from today, that definitely listener viewing participation implies acceptance of this disclaimer. The number is still the same. No, it has not changed. 345-936-8255 is the number to call in and be a part of this conversation. And of course, you know, we keep it real. We keep you anonymous as well. If you want to send us a WhatsApp, of course, you can WhatsApp us on that number as well. That number again is 936-8255. 345 is the area code, 936-8255. I'm seeing all of the new followers and all of the new subscribers. Thank you so much. But please, please, please don't forget and continue sharing and following, liking the page as well, not only for yourself, but share it with your friends and family so You're always notified. You're not scrambling trying to find me, and you're never going to miss an episode. So, yes, welcome, welcome. I see you all. Where's North Carolina love? Some of you were asking for Jim. I was speaking to Jim during the break, and he is definitely, if you are following him, he is definitely living his best life. I applaud Jimbo. Well, I got even a few messages saying, Miss Sabrina, it's like we're off balance. Where's the weather? I said, are you kidding me? What do you mean, where's the weather? There's so much other outlets, but yeah, they just like the version. I don't know. Maybe it's the Sabrina Speaks bug that has caught them. Let's get straight into today's program and starting back with the weather because we know how it is for us living here on an island and everything that's happening. Let's take a look at this evening's forecast and into tomorrow for a spotlight leading into tomorrow as well. Let me grab an image here for you before we go full throttle here this evening. Compliments of our friends there at the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. Here is the weather forecast for tonight and into tomorrow. The synopsis is calling for an increase in moisture that is expected as a tropical wave moves into the Cayman area overnight. The tropical wave will dominate the weather pattern through Tuesday night, bringing periods of showers and possibly isolated thunderstorms. Now, moderate winds and seas are expected throughout the period, and radar imagery shows a few showers in and around the Cayman area. The forecast for tonight is calling for partly cloudy skies and cloudy spells with a 50% chance of overnight showers with possible thunder. Temperatures will fall near to the low mid 80s and winds will be east-northeast 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Tomorrow calls for partly cloudy to cloudy skies with 50% chance of showers and possible thunder. Temperatures will rise near the low to mid 90s with a heat index of 109 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, winds will be east to northeast 10 to 15 knots and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. There will be a high tide at 8:30 this evening, a low tide at 2:44 a.m. Tomorrow morning, and another high tide is expected at 8:11. Sun will set this evening at 6:55 and sun will rise tomorrow morning at 6:05. The outlook is calling for a decrease in shower activity is expected on Wednesday as the tropical wave moves away and drier air associated with a layer of Saharan dust mass moves into the area. Now, there you have it. That is our weather forecast for this evening into tomorrow, and definitely some semblance of what is forecasted for later on in the week. And oh my God, I don't know about you guys, but have you been having like these dry, sticky eyes in the back of your throat? Just really, it's just weird. Be careful. Be careful. It's the dust. And especially if you're outside, it may not look like anything, but please take the warnings. And I'm quite sure our local Met service workers and public health will definitely share those warnings for us to be careful when the plume gets really thick. So there you have it. Now let's take what's going on with the local news. Lots to unpack, lots to unfold, but we like to keep it home. And we're going to start off with congratulatory messages. Yes, because Azara Burton has been crowned Miss Teen Cayman Islands 2026-2027, earning multiple awards throughout the competition. Now, she captured Miss Photogenic Best Culture Wear and Miss Ileana de la Cruz Community Award and Best Talent, showcasing excellence across every category. Now, organizers says that her performance reflects confidence, creativity, and strong community spirit. Congratulations to her as she begins her year representing Cayman's young women and all of the other contestants and the runner-up. I'll be giving you a bigger coverage on this as the details come more out the public's domain. I'll be sharing those with you later on in the week and getting some official pictures as well. But congratulations to all of the ladies, and definitely to Miss Burton. I know Mama and Grandmother, who I know personally, are very proud. I am seeing it. I am seeing it on the Facebook pages. And oh my gosh, I can only imagine what that must feel like, having your daughter, granddaughter, sisters taking away this title, and know what the journey will be like for the next year. But congratulations to all of the organizers, all of the supporters, all the parents and siblings that were there. And Azaria, I'm looking for great things from you. And I saw and I heard or saw a clipping of that final answer. OMG, I got the chills. Congratulations to you. We'll go a little bit more, and maybe we may luck out. We may get one or two of them on here to let us know of their experience later on. But I know she's going to have a really tight schedule, and we only wish her all the best. In other local news making headlines today on the Sabrina Speaks platform, we see where the Cayman Islands government has released a summary of the cabinet meeting held on Wednesday, the 29th of July. At that session, Cabinet reviewed and noted the Health Service Authority half-year report for the period ending June 30th, authorizing the Minister of Health, Environment and Sustainability to table it in Parliament. Now, members also approved several government leases across key departments and confirmed earlier approval of the pension's actuarial validation reports, issuing drafting instructions for the pension contribution regulations. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service reports a 30-year-old Georgetown man has been sentenced to life imprisonment for the murder of a 56-year-old relative in December of 2024. Now, police responded to Middle Road on the 31st of December, where the victim was found unresponsive and later pronounced dead. A post-mortem confirmed neck compressions as a result of death linked to the family dispute. Forensic evidence led to the arrest of the conviction with parole, possibly after 31 years. The Office of the DPP praised the thorough RCIPS investigation. The police extend condolences to the family. Off-Reg Board of Directors has announced the appointment of Mr. Sanjay Miles as Chief Executive Officer of URCO, following a competitive recruitment process. Mr. Miles previously served as interim CEO, providing steady leadership and strengthening the office's operations. Now, he says he looks forward to working with URCO's team and the partners to deliver effective, transparent, and responsive regulation and public interest. Now, the board extends congratulations as he begins the next chapter of service to the Cayman Islands. CUC congratulates Robert Worms on his promotion to Vice President of Operations, marking a career spanning nearly 3 decades, from electrician apprentice to executive leadership. Now, the company says his experience and commitment to safety and reliability will strengthen operational performance. CUC also extends its thanks to Dr. Stephen J. for his leadership over the past 3 years, noting his focus on resiliency, employee development, and succession planning. They wish him well while welcoming Robert into the next chapter of service. Other local news here, we see where public safety agencies across government have signed a memorandum of understanding establishing a multi-agent public protection arrangement in the Cayman Islands. Now, the agreement, effective June 17th, creates a formal framework for coordinated management of sexual and violent offenders who may pose significant risk. Now, officials says that the partnership strengthens information sharing, accountability, and joint decision-making across policing, rehabilitation, border control, social services, and emergency communications. The initiative aims to ensure high-risk cases are managed through a lawful structure and intelligence-led process to better protect the public. The Department of Environmental Health and the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service have teamed up for a joint cleanup operation along Wattlers Road, moving bulk waste and 10 nuances vehicles. including cars, a boat, and a wave runner. Now, official says the effort aims to improve public health and safety, with more operations planned across the islands to tackle illegal dumping. Residents with concerns or reports can be made to DEH directly by calling 949-6696, emailing DEH customer service at gov.ky, or even visit gov.ky/DEH. As we take our focus now on what's happening in the region around us this morning, a powerful magnitude 7.4 earthquake struck Western Colombia earlier today, causing heavy damage and triggering mass evacuations across several major cities. Now, the epicenter was near San Jose, with intense shaking felt from Bogota to Cali and into Ecuador and Venezuela. At least 111 people have been confirmed dead, with widespread injuries and significant structural damage reported, including airport disruptions and damage to landmarks. Now, Colombia's president has convened an emergency meeting and is traveling to Pereira to lead the national response. As we wrap up this segment, we see where the United States Department says that under President Trump and Secretary Rubio's leadership, it will continue identifying, investigating, and revoking visas for foreign nationals deemed to pose a threat to public safety. Now, officials reiterated that the United States visa is a privilege, not a right, noting that more than 175,000 visas have been revoked during the administration's enforcement efforts. Now, the department says these actions are part of its broader commitment to protecting the American people. In our business markets closing for today, we see where global markets close mixed today as investors weighed corporate earnings against ongoing geopolitical pressures. Now, the Dow Jones finished slightly higher, while the S&P 500 and Nasdaq posted modest declines. In regional trading, Caribbean markets saw light movement, with financial and tourism-linked stocks holding steady. Oil prices, however, eased amid supply concerns, and gold strengthened as investors shifted towards safe haven assets. Now, analyst says markets remain sensitive to economic data, as that will be expected later this week. Now, that wraps up our news segment here for this evening. Welcome, welcome, one and all. It's good to be back with you after an entire week off from the Sabrina Speaks platform. But that doesn't mean that I wasn't working. I was working. I was here. I was out and about causing some trouble. Ran into a few of you as well. That was pretty refreshing. And they were like, oh my gosh, we thought you were on leave. I'm on leave from the show, but I'm not on leave. I'm leave. But nevertheless, guess what? It's good to be back with you here. Thank you for joining me. It is really a pleasure to be back. I will be sharing that with you in a few moments from now, because we got to send birthday shout outs to all of those persons who are celebrating birthdays today. Happy birthday. Some of you may be cruising the high seas, or you're off for new sceneries, whatever it is you're doing for your birthday. Happy birthday from all of us. Happy birthday from all of us, wishing you many, many more. And I know a number of people are celebrating anniversaries or have celebrated wedding anniversaries as well. We want to wish you many, many more, and best wishes, of course, to you throughout your celebratory season for sure. Yes, yes, yes. Miss Melita, where you've been? It is so good to have you commenting. You've been quiet, but I'm getting to all of you because I'm so excited to start interacting with all of you again. But, we're celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, and key milestones, but there are so many amongst us, oh my goodness, that are mourning the loss of a loved one. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's like every morning you wake up and you're like either hearing a family member or seeing a message, or you're seeing something that another one of our Caymanians is no longer with us. But for what I have at my disposal, and thank you for all of those thoughts and reflections that are being shared on the Sabrina Speaks platform, especially to the families and of these that we are aware of, and we capture them. We want to thank you for showing that outpouring love and support, and it just goes so far to let you know how connected we are here in the Cayman Islands, that we all feel these loss because we know these people so well. But one that stands out to me is, and to let you all know, the family of the late Charles Osgood Yates is announcing his passing on July 28th. Now, left to mourn in his passing are his spouse, Miss Elsa Yates, his daughter and spouse, Miriam Yates, his son and spouse, Andre Yates, 7 grandchildren, and their spouses and families. Now, Miss Shaniki Williams Wisdom and Mr. Young Wisdom, Andre Yates, and Wilson McKaylee Wilson, Andine, and all 1 grandchild. Now, the funeral service for the late Mr. Charles will be held on the 13th of August. That's later on this week at 11:30, and that will be at the King's Seventh-day Adventist Church. Now, the viewing will be at 10:30, and the interment will follow at the Hurlston Prospect Cemetery. So we want you to know that this funeral will be taking place on the 13th at the King's Seventh-day Adventist Church. Any one of you will remember Mr. Osgood from Elgin Avenue, directly across from the Government Administration Building, would often be seen out there in the evenings in his wheelchair, and was a huge supporter of this platform, but not only this platform, but of me. This man came out with, to defend and to share so much memories about what life was like. And he watched, the whole development around him from the days of Racket Club, from when they were building that road, because that's where he has been. That's his family property, where Amazon is. Is it Amazon Cafe? Yeah. And but Mr. Osgood, he would call into the show, would get very emotional because he was very close friends with my mom, my late mom. So whenever he got emotional, he always said he saw my mom in me. And but huge supporter, big defender of myself, my family, the name, and my thoughts and prayers go out to his family. And Mr. Osgood is no longer with us, but warm-hearted person. Everybody would know him as Charlie's in the taxi. He would be more than happy to take people around, and that was his life. So, despite him having been an amputee, he was all over the place until of course, he slowed down a little bit. But our thoughts and prayers go out, and we hold these families near to us. So that is this Thursday. Also, a very close friend of mine, not only professionally, but also personal, is my friend, Miss Carol Hay. She passed away on the 2nd of August. And, we're seeing where her funeral service will be held on Saturday, August 15th at the Agape Family Worship Center at 10 a.m. So Miss Carol has been known for her the interment will follow at Garden of Reflections right here in Prospect. So her funeral will be on Saturday the 15th at Agape Church. So everyone will know Miss Carol with her pepper jelly, or maybe you may have known about her through Brit Hay Electric. Me and her had some very good conversations back in the day under my old immigration consultancy firm. And we had very good connection with her husband. And, she was a force to reckon with. Oh my gosh, Miss Carol. She wouldn't think twice. You know exactly what she was thinking. And I can remember those long conversations with Miss Carol, from current events to local stuff. And I could see her now chewing that chewing gum and leaning forward. She liked the chewing gum. Oh, yes, she liked the chewing gum. But, we just want to remember her family through this period of time. And definitely her daughter, her sisters, grandchildren, Miss Sandra, and her spouse, Mr. Denver, and her brother and nieces and nephews. So, yes, through this difficult time, we want to definitely send and share all their love with you through this difficult time here. There we go. And we do not have the funeral arrangements yet for Mr. Deniston, another friend of mine personally, but a huge, huge advocate for seafaring for the Seafarers Association. He was the sitting chair, and he's no longer with us. And again, we do the same sentiments to his daughters, his family, the brothers, and their families, and everyone who's come in contact with Mr. Deniston. Now, that was also another feisty one, having worked with him personally in the community. Cara Ko and myself, yes, I called her name because that was when I first got really, really close with the Seafarers Association for all the work that we were doing on the ground here in Prospect and Red Bay that goes back to some 15, 16 years almost. And we worked very closely with the Seafarers Association, and it was amazing the relationships that we built with Mr. Deniston during that time. He and Mr. Douglas, you never saw one without the other, to be honest with you. But we had many laughters, good old times of reminiscing. We learned a lot from him as well. And it was just something to behold when you got them together, especially if him and Mr. Douglas pull you aside, oh my gosh, we would get in trouble because we would be at meetings and the foolishness that we would talk, and they would say some things, that would get you in trouble because you would bust out laughing. Anyhow, those are some of the lighter moments that I've had with Mr. Deniston. And, I want to hold on to those memories, all of those interactions with him throughout the time of trying to build and keep the Seafarers Association alive and well, and definitely for what they contribute in the community here. So I know it's not easy, but these are some of the memories. I'm quite sure once I am aware and of the arrangements, in case they're out there and I have missed them, what those dates, then we would be more than happy to share those with you. Yes, yes, yes. So it's been a lot going on. We try to catch up here, but the phone lines are open 936-8255 if you want to jump on and let us see what's happening. Share with me what I've missed. If it's a little sus that I missed, oh yeah, tell me now. Tell me. If it's a little sus that I didn't hear or something that I probably missed out, because I actually shut off. I shut off for a bit, which isn't that what holidays are supposed to be like? You shut off, right? Well, I did, and I'm happy that I did. So now we're back cranking up this old machine, and let's see what's happening in the community while we were gone. We are seeing where the Ministry of Planning and Lands, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure has opened public consultation on the draft residential tenancy amendment bill. And guess what? They're inviting your feedback. They're calling on landlords, tenants, the wider community, and this information is being gathered or is being collected through September 20th. So y'all can't say, well, Christ, they did that and they cut it off. I was on vacation. I wasn't even thinking about this. They are collecting or wanting and requesting feedback from tenants, landlords, and the wider community. Now, if you notice how this is worded, right? They're not saying you have to be Caymanian. They are welcoming the feedback from tenants, landlords, and the wider community. And that information is being collected through September 20th. Officials stress that the draft has not been approved for public, and public input will determine what comes out of that. Okay? So if you don't understand, without your feedback, because it's not like they got something and they're just putting it out here for a process, you're being invited to give your feedback. Officials stress that the draft has not been approved and public input will determine whether proposals should move forward. The amendments address governance, documentation, notification procedures, and enforcements. Now, consultation materials are available. You can see the information here at publicconsultation.gov.ky, and written submissions can be sent to residential tenancies consultation at gov.ky. So there will be more information on this. We will definitely break that down for you as well. A little bit more. I'm going to use a day to see how quickly we can do that. I'll do that as a day where we dedicate to that, and we can what do you think about it? Yeah, we can try to dive into that along and get back to what I know a lot of you are actually looking for, because that's what we're known for, so that we can give our feedbacks. You can weigh in and what to tell. You may see what you say, but there is a process. I've given you the email, so please, please, please take advantage of it, okay? Also, there is going to be a hoping to get, I'm hoping people in, there's going to be a football match that, and the public is invited to come out to Academy Field on August 12th. That's this Wednesday and Saturday, where Academy Sports Club Premier Team is going to take on Portmore United football champions. So we're going to get some more information on this. So you're all invited to come out, and it's $20. Children under 12 are free. Yep, there will be food trucks there, thanks to the sponsors, Fabrizone, Stingray Media, and the Reef Beach Resort. Like I said, we're going to be giving you more on that. Good evening, caller. You're live on Sabrina Speaks. What's on your mind?
Evening today. How you doing? Welcome back.
Hi. Thank you. We missed you. I was putting out APB on you. We had
I
missed
miss
you.
her.
We said, what happened?
No,
I said,
know.
where is Miss Melita?
I know. But this stuff is getting to us, child.
Mm.
You know, unfortunately, I have to work in it. In my job,
Mm-hmm.
it's not nice. Trust me, it's not nice.
Yeah. Well, it's good to hear your voice, and thank you for calling in.
The nose is still draining, but that's how you go.
Well, do you wear
But
a mask
anyway,
when you're out there? Because I mean, based on the work that you're doing, you're exposed to so much people, and then the dust doesn't help, and your work takes you definitely outside. How do you prepare for this type of stuff?
listen, I take a lot of vitamins, vitamin C, vitamins. Let me go inside and start the ring. Hold on.
Okay.
And I
There.
getting much rain, but it raining enough.
Mm-hmm. And we're
I
gonna
do take my vitamins.
go ahead.
I do take my vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin C, all that kind of stuff, for the season. You understand?
Right.
When I do go out, I wear, I cover up. I
Mm-hmm.
got my hat on.
Mm-hmm.
I got my long sleeves on. But it's the dust.
Yeah.
The dust is what really bothering us.
Mm-hmm. And we're
And
expecting another plume again this week. And I know from what I'm seeing on some of the satellite imagery, especially the weatherman that we always see him, it's actually so thick. This
Brian?
particular, Brian, it's
Mhm.
so thick that it was showing up as clouds and rain, and it's not clouds and rain, but it looks as though a portion of Cuba, Kimmebrack, and Little Cayman may get, based on how he was forecasting it, may get the brunt of this plume of dust now. But still, we're not out of the woods yet.
Exactly. But I mean, but we got to do what we got to do because, it's our living. It's my living. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And the thing is because the ships are coming later, so we got to start our work day later.
Oh.
It's not cool. But, yeah, because normally if you go there early in the morning, ships coming at 7, 8 o'clock, you can get home earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But the ships are coming 10:30 in the morning, so before 1, 2, 3 o'clock before we get home.
Oh, okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So it makes it worse for us, yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's what it is, and I'm not complaining. Thank God I'm able to get up and go and do
Correct.
what I got to do and get back home. But what I'm calling about it because we, I mean, I did make my complaint. Hopefully, it's it's worked on. It's followed up on.
Mm-hmm.
We got people out there now. Not it's not even a competition. It should not be a competition. It's not a competition because if after being in it from 1998,
Mm-hmm.
nobody's our competition.
Mm-hmm.
We got people out there that's not, and they're not licensed, but yet they think. I'm not saying they're able, because until we bring it, until we bring the attention of the authorities,
Mm-hmm.
they're not able. So we got people out there that holding our signs that we have to pay a license fee, not even license fee, couple license fees
Mm-hmm.
annually, and they're out there every day doing the same job. They're not licensed, but yet they're able to hold our signs that cause more business in our lives. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If we could, maybe you're not understand what I'm saying. Let me explain better. Okay,
Go ahead.
every year we have to pay for our license,
Right.
do our drug test or whatever. You even had to go and do the forget what the name
The
is now.
test,
I
is
just
that
don't
the
tell you.
test? And you
Yeah,
mm.
yeah. But they're out there because they have records, they have police records. So they actually was in court, and they're not criminals as in, I don't want to call them criminals because I don't want to go there. You
Right.
understand?
Right.
But they're out there and you know they expect to do our job, take our business,
But
and
they're
nobody's
competing with
nobody's
you guys, and there's no enforcement.
exactly. We're the ones that have to they have to pay for all these fees, and they're not.
Mm-hmm. 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 So, has anybody made a report on these, or
I
again?
did, I did, I did, I did, I did. So
And
hopefully,
and you've gotten no
go ahead.
response. You haven't seen where
I
enforcement has
no
been out there. I'm asking.
no, this this was a Thursday. I made the report, so I'm hoping we're back to one ship on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're back to work. So hopefully it brought to their attention because they're out there doing all the illegal stuff.
Yes.
And when I'm saying illegal stuff, but nobody's holding them
Got you.
accountable.
Got you. Got you. Got you. Well, I'm hoping by way of this medium, and you've said you've made formal complaints 3 times. They're not
I
licensed. They
did.
have not gone through the proper process. But I guess in Jamaica, I think they have them called is it robot taxes? They're just being
Well,
rogue.
no, they're not taxis. That's the thing. No, they're not taxi drivers, CD. They're not. They're not. Because taxi drivers not be able to get through that. No, they're not.
Oh Lord.
They're just people that they're holding our signs that we were paid for our
Yes.
permission to hold. They're not taxi drivers. I know. Taxi drivers
Oh,
would never. In Cayman, taxi drivers would never get away with that. I'm sorry. They would
okay.
never get away with that, Cayman.
Okay. Well, we let's hope that the relevant authorities actually get into this, because this can't
But I
continue.
did. No, of course not. Of course not.
This
Of
definitely
course
can't
not.
continue. No, 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 no.
No, no, because we're expected to do the right thing,
But
and yet
yet
we got
these
these people coming to compete with us and not even they don't have to pay nothing. They don't have to test. They don't have to do nothing, and they're
mhm.
the one with the police record.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to
Alrighty.
hold our corner. We have to hold our corner to make sure we're doing the right thing.
Mhm. Mhm.
But yet they can come to us in the mornings and do our job. No, that's not right.
Yeah. Got you. Got you.
It's not even happening on the outside, it's also happening on the
On
inside.
the inside. No, I get you. I
Yeah,
got a better understanding. Caller, I'm gonna call you
it's
back.
also
I'm gonna call you back. Just stick with me, please.
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Not you, the other one that was calling.
okay.
Mhm.
There's also happening on the inside because
Hmm.
you got a company inside that also have pre-book tours.
Mhm.
They have pre-book tours, and so they're hooked up with the ship company, But yet they got people inside there doing, harassing other drivers, calling them all kinds of names, cursing them,
I'm
and the
hoping
post
that the
office doing
Minister
nothing
of
about it.
Tourism can hear this and the minister along with the ports as well, because this must have a damaging implication
Listen,
on what we have, because I'm going to add somebody else. I'm hoping that the powers that be will actually hear these complaints, because it must be damaging and will impact our
listen,
tourism product.
listen. There's a company inside the port
Mm-hmm.
that actually doing our job,
Mm-hmm.
and they have drivers. They have drivers that was only supposed to be drivers, but
Mm-hmm.
they're able to hold our signs.
That's
They're able to hold
crazy.
our signs. No, it's not right. It's not right because okay, we have the pre-book tours, including the company inside. They're a pre-book tour company.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
They got business with the cruise ship, but
Yes.
yet they're inside the port, able to be our competitors.
That's almost double, triple, quadruple dipping. We got another
No,
caller.
it's
Yeah.
not right. It's
Yeah.
not right. It's
Yeah.
not right.
We hold on. I merged somebody else with it. You can stay on.
Yeah,
So
what
yeah.
is it?
Good.
Oh,
Miss
I got
Miss
time.
Melita, how are you doing?
I'm thankful, baby.
This is Siobhan. Sabrina,
Hi, Siobhan.
where you went strutting?
Look, yeah. We
I saw you on that beach like a old foul.
Here it is.
Well, you
You
couldn't
see
miss
with
me
that
now.
two-piece swimsuit.
That's why I blocked
You want me
traffic.
to rent? You want me to rent?
No. You were on that beach strutting in that two-piece, bunker cheeks and everything
Where?
on the beach.
You call it
I
7
can't
miles.
I can't
7
tell you
miles.
which beach. I
Well, I
can't tell
just
you which
told
beach
them.
now.
I just told them they were shocked when they see me, but Miss Melita, so help me Christ, it was all hanging out. Mm-hmm.
You whom though?
Oh yeah, I was
Oh,
home. Oh yeah.
That what matters. That what matters.
you know
That
they
what
say
matters.
she was built like a breadfruit. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
but
That's
she's
No,
sweet.
you
nice
whom.
to have you back. I felt compelled to join this conversation
Mm-hmm.
that Miss Melita, and he is pleading
Mm-hmm.
fairly for help. And I
Mm-hmm.
gotta be so kind.
Yes.
The grandfather, the great Captain Dallas, my entire family, I dare say it's a few of us who have ventured out of the tourism industry or working in, like myself, financial service, government, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say what she's not saying. What is happening there at that port? We're having Caymanian companies, and let's bear in mind, all companies are Caymanian companies.
Right.
They're hiring expatriates to hold up signs outside the port.
Mm-hmm.
This is not right. This is not something that happened in 2026. This has been going on since, I don't know, for a very
Miss
long time.
Siobhan. Miss
And it's a,
Siobhan. Miss Siobhan.
mhm.
Miss Sabrina had the history of me, you know. I was also inside. I'm outside now, having to fight outside and don't have my title. Understand? I was also inside, and I mean, Miss Sabrina had that history of me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I went through all that. Understand?
And this is something that has been going on. I am sorry, your tourism product is something that is should be near and dear to the people of that country. It should be something that is protected. It should be something that is highly regarded. We know that tourism is one of our largest sectors, contributing to our budget, GDP,
Yeah,
whatever
but
you want to call it.
when you have people running to the minister because they're Caymanian, hell no,
Hmm.
hell no. The only minister we had with balls was Mr. Jefferson. Okay, and it's like it's the whole circle going back right now. But
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Jefferson stood up to the papa and told him straight and clean, whatever seats you have available is all you can get. But when the whole new generation come in now, they think because they have a pre-book tour that they can also come in, they can also come and suck, what the leftovers. It's not
Right.
even
What's left?
leftovers.
Absolutely.
No, it's
Absolutely.
not right.
But
It's not right.
But this has gone on, like I said, forever and a day,
Yeah, but
forever
listen
and
to
a
me.
day, with no.
I'm praying that my children do have to fall in this category.
Mhm.
I
But
agree with you,
while
but
my eyes is open, I can talk.
And
I agree. But this is a conversation that has been going on for decades. I recall working there with my granddad when I was 14. I'm almost 40. This has been, and this is something that we continuously hear. Yet nothing is being done about it. Nothing is being done about it. Caymanians are being squeezed out of the tourism industry, not
But
one at a
Siobhan,
time,
but it's
plenty
Caymanians
at a
that
time.
own the businesses. You were
Siobhan,
I'm not disputing it.
Siobhan, Miss Sabrina would tell you from COVID time.
Mhm.
Miss Sabrina, remember the
Yes,
conversation?
yes, from COVID. Mhm.
From COVID time. From COVID time, I asked Mr. Foster to give me a job the last year we were locked down. Out of appreciation, I wanted to give Mr. Foster but he's full year. All right? The port was supposed to open in November, we opened up in March. And because I was told because the port opened in March and I didn't go back till the June. Out of appreciation of Mr. Foster gave me a job, I decided to give him the full year because I didn't go back in the March.
Mhm.
My license would not within the port, even though I was there for years, and all no,
She's still waiting for her license to go
Siobhan.
back on the inside.
Exactly.
But
Okay.
you, sorry, but you have a representative. You have a representative
A
that
lot of
should have
a
seen
lot
to
of
this.
them,
There's also a minister of tourism that should have looked into this. If we're not protecting these
and he was called
industries
to,
and sectors
and
for
he was called
Caymanians,
to,
then
and he was called to,
who are we protecting it for?
What
he
what
was
I'm
called
Who
to.
are we protecting it for?
what I'm getting is that there is obviously not a clear set of regulations and policies that are
There
in
are.
place that would hold operators who have licensures to be
Mhm,
able to get pre-books directly from these cruise lines, that
mhm.
that's where the line is drawn in the sand for them.
Well,
Anybody
it's a
else who
cowboy.
But
wanting
It's a
to,
cowboys and Indians down
but
there,
Miss
Sabrina.
Sabrina,
Right?
but Miss
There's a
Sabrina,
complete cowboys and Indians down there. Miss Melita, let me say
Siobhan,
something. So
go ahead.
there's the Caymanian Land and Sea Cooperative, right? Which is a government. Let me not misspeak, but a government supported, not a statutory body, but entity of sorts. Government lends
I was,
some financial support to it, right?
hold on
I
one
was
minute,
a
Savon.
six seater. I
Yeah,
was a
it
six seater
lends.
and used to drive for the land sea co-op back in the day. I was a six seater, 6 feet
Mhm,
back in the day, and I
right,
used to work on the sea. Check,
right.
check, check, check and see how my business they got now.
Mm.
But
Listen,
what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is, Sabrina, what I'm saying is
Land the sea co-op wanted me to work back with them. And I can't even ID to come inside. Land the sea wanted me to do their tours, and I was not even allowed to get an ID to come inside
Mhm,
for the land the sea to use my services.
Because of what
mhm.
happened in March that you were giving back your 1 year.
That's all.
the
That's
the
it.
thing
That's
is
it.
the thing is right, and a large part of the problem is, are those pre-booked tours, Sabrina sunbathing adventures.
Hmm.
However, Sabrina only have one bus with 12 seats. Why is Sabrina allowed to sell a tour for 200 seats when she only have 12 seats?
Ah,
That's the
Exactly.
mess that we need to
And,
start
and,
addressing. Okay.
and that
But the
exactly
Land and
what
Sea Cooperative, being that it is almost sort of, I wouldn't say government regulated, but there's far more regulation within the Land and Sea Cooperative
hmm,
than there is of what I see currently going on there. And based on the size and the need to protect the current industry and the infrastructure for Caymanian operators and taxi drivers and the like,
right.
all of these stores, in my opinion, should be going through the Land and Sea Cooperative. I don't care if you're red sales, blue
but
sales, power
yet,
sales.
but
I
yet,
don't care. They should be going through there. And that way, if 500 people are coming off, Melita bus got 12, and you're in a queue. You're in a queue. It
Who's
is unfair. It is unreasonable that Sabrina, who has a 12-seater bus because she can get a business license and line the pocket of shore excursion managers off those cruise ships that they are allowed to sell more than what they have the capacity or that they can demonstrate ownership of. If you cannot demonstrate ownership of a bus for 500 people, you shouldn't be able to sell a tour for 500 people.
Well,
I'm
there
sorry, and
But
obviously,
what is
Siobhan,
hold
happening?
on, one at a time. There's
but
obviously a
Siobhan,
systemic issue here. There's something
Absolutely.
wrong with the system. Go ahead, Miss Melita.
but Siobhan, but you got a company inside the port itself
Mhm.
compete,
Doing the
competing
same thing.
competing
Exactly.
competing against the regular taxi drivers and tour bus drivers that also have pre-booked tours. All the
Exactly. But this is what I'm saying is precisely the problem. There should be one central database. You're allowed to sell to the Land and Sea Cooperative. Everybody signs up as a member. Everybody signs up as a member. That's how it was meant to be. And they too get pre-booked tours. They also had onshore agents who were, I guess you would say, booking inside of the gate, so to speak, as shore sales, right? So what I'm saying is that is the only way, in my opinion, for you to allow fairness. Because, like I said, if you don't have a boat that can carry 200 people, you shouldn't be allowed
To book
to
200
sell a
people.
tour for 200 people. When I have an insurance
Also,
for my vehicle, when I insure
Siobhan,
my vehicle, they only allow me to insure it for the capacity that's listed on
exactly.
the license thing, right?
But
And what I'm
Siobhan,
saying is there's no
also,
enforcement.
Hold on, we don't want to
Siobhan,
lose the
also,
audience in a sense where we want people to understand what you're saying because there are people who are not familiar with the operational arm, how it works with pre-booked tours versus somebody who comes off a cruise ship and decides, oh my gosh, I like what I'm feeling here. Is there any way I could grab this? It's probably best for me to go directly to the source. So I want you all to be cognizant of that because not everybody is familiar with how it works. Now, what I'm
Yeah.
taking away
yeah,
from you all is that if there is a company who has direct links and before a boat even reaches into port, the cruisers can book these pre-booked
Correct.
tours. What you're
Correct.
saying, that's where it should stop. Anybody who
Absolutely.
is on land
exactly.
now and decides they want to do a tour, that should not be in competition with somebody who has direct access with the cruise line or
Absolutely.
cruise lines
Absolutely.
prior to
Absolutely.
arriving. And right now, what I'm
Exactly.
Absolutely.
seeing is that there is a
Exactly.
leak, there's a hemorrhage where these persons, these businesses that are able to do pre-booked tours are now also stepping in, holding these
To pick up
signs
the
and
lens for you.
selling the scraps that's
Competing,
left, pretty much.
Absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely.
You guys see,
Absolutely.
you got it,
You got
you
it to
got
a
it,
T.
Miss Sabrina. Sabrina,
To a
Miss Sabrina,
T.
you got it. That's exactly what's happening.
And it
They
speaks
are,
of
they
sheer
already,
greed. It
they
speaks of
already,
absolute sheer greed.
they already got pre-booked tours. And this is not today, you know. This is not today. They already got pre-booked tours. The book and ship. But yet, so they got their people walking off as pre-booked. But yet they're on top of the dock competing with us
What you need to then
and
look
selling
to
our
find
tours.
out what are the parameters with their license as their, we need to find out whether or
No,
not if the license
no.
allows them
Listen,
to book outside that as well. So the terms and conditions of their license may actually have to be revised, or maybe they have the right to do that.
Mr. Brina, that it was brought up. It was brought up. And I'm not going to say I did not see it. I was not in the meeting.
Right.
But the tourism minister said CK Mannion.
Oh, so it doesn't
Okay?
matter.
Okay. The tourism, I was not there. And apparently the meeting was held. And the tourism minister said CK Mannion.
So are
I
you
was not
saying
there.
Said
that's
what?
almost the same
Said what?
as it's a
Yes,
dog eat dog world once you're Caymanian?
Pretty much.
I was
And it's a
not
cowboys
there,
and
but
Indians.
the meeting
But
apparently the meeting was held. I was not there. Apparently the meeting was held, and tourism minister said because he is Canadian, which is not effing right.
the
Oh
problem
boy.
is though, Sabrina, is it's a complete diminution of the tourism product
Exactly.
overall,
Exactly. It's going
right?
to impact
When
the
you
tourism
when
product.
you have
Listen,
when you have
listen,
a pre-booked tour,
One
listen,
at a time,
I
please.
would
listen.
say I would say it's more
This happened
organized, it's
years
more
ago.
costly,
This happened
but it's
years
more
ago.
sure than walking off and booking with this one. And you got to wait until that person can fill their boat, or you got to wait till that person can fill their bus. They got people sitting down in their bus 20, 30, 40 minutes to fill a
Say it again, say
28-seater
it again,
bus.
say it again.
All of that mess is going on down there, and it is
No,
a
no,
complete.
Siobhan, say
They're
it again.
talking
Say
about.
it
They're
again,
talking
Siobhan.
about.
Hold on 1 minute, Siobhan.
Siobhan, say that again.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm saying with the pre-booked tours, at least
Mm-hmm.
there should be expected to be some waiting, right? And I'm not saying that there shouldn't, but at least you know that you're getting off and your tour is to begin at 10:30. There's more
Uh-huh.
organization, Sabrina, with pre-booked tours,
Mm-hmm.
right? Versus you have somebody on the port with a bus selling an island tour.
Mm-hmm.
That person got 6 seats, 12 seats, or 28 seats.
Mm-hmm.
They're herding people like cows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They're herding them like cows and saying, okay, that's my bus over there. You want to go on an island tour? Get in the bus. You want to go on an island tour? Get in the bus. You want to go on an island tour? You get in the bus. Right?
Siobhan,
You
that's a
can be
lie.
there
That's a
waiting
lie. Siobhan, that's a lie.
with the
Listen to me.
walk
We got
off.
Siobhan. Yeah, of course, with the walk off. Siobhan, we have the bigger buses, we have the medium buses, we have the smaller buses. Okay? If the bigger buses take too long to load at 28 seats, we have the
Mm-hmm.
14 seaters. They would
Mm-hmm.
transfer them as a smaller bus. Siobhan, let me tell you, I worked with this for many years. I'm older than you, Kitty. If the bigger bus takes too long to load, they will put them in a smaller bus. If those stick to them, they go to the smaller bus. So don't come with that. I've been working this for years,
Yeah,
Kitty.
but what I'm saying is I'm not advocating for walk-offs
I've
or
been in this for
pre-books.
years.
What I'm saying is we need a system that is reflective of the
But,
product that we're
but this
selling,
system been working
and
for years.
and
This
so
system been
and
working for
so that
years.
the product is
This
the
system been
product
working for
overall
years.
is delivered, but it's not
This
working,
system
Miss
been
Melita.
working for
You're
years.
saying
It's
it's not
working.
working.
It's working
You're
working
saying
for
that it's
years.
not working.
I'm not telling you they're not working. I said this worked for years. So okay, we got a group of people. Are we down to 40 people or 30 or 12 people? We put them in the middle size bus. We got down to 6 people. We put them in the smaller bus. It's been working for years, Kitty. I've been in this for years. Okay. You
Well, I
don't
know
tell me
it's a
about. You don't
mess.
tell me about
It's
it.
a mess.
I
It's a
don't know what
mess.
mess you're looking at. I don't know what mess you're looking at. But this system been working for years, and it's always worked. The mess is no. The mess is no because we have the 5 people. We have the 5 people already
But this
got
is what
pre-booked
I'm
tours.
talking about.
Hold on.
This is what I'm talking about. The
Siobhan, when
existing
people
mess.
are saying they can't hear you when one speaks over the other.
Mhm.
Okay, they're not making they can't hear when one speaks over
Yeah,
the
yeah.
other. So I know it's not like the two of you are speaking to each other. It's you have an audience, but when one person has to completely stop and then make the other person
Okay,
weigh in. So
no
Miss
problem.
Melita is saying that it has worked for years. The problem is right now is those companies who are on the inside of the fence, who have direct pre-booked tours, are now paying persons to also infiltrate outside to take what is remaining, and that's the problem.
But yes, but what I'm saying is it wasn't. Sorry,
Right.
it previously wasn't like that. And they had, from what I recall when I was there, like I said, it's been quite a number of years, but the walk offs were done in an orderly fashion. They were done. She's absolutely correct. But what is happening now is not orderly. What's happening now is not fair. And like she said, there's a pre-book situation, whereas you have a guaranteed 100 people on your tour, 200, whatever, 55. I don't care what it is. And then somehow you should be
Siobhan,
entitled to pick up what's left out there too. That's not fair.
Siobhan,
That's not
Siobhan,
reasonable.
Siobhan,
Go ahead, Miss
Siobhan,
Melita. Go ahead.
Siobhan is more familiar with the boat tours, you know. She's not familiar with Urquhart tours.
Mm-hmm.
Siobhan is
Well,
more
I know
familiar
they
with the
all a
boat
circus,
tours.
Miss Melita. It's all a
Huh?
circus because everybody, it's all an entire circus.
No.
The same
Yeah, but
complaints that
you're
taxi
more
drivers
familiar with
are
the boat
having
tours.
are the same complaints that boat owners are having. And
No,
again, it
no,
goes
that's a
back to the
different
same
world.
thing. It
That's
goes
a
back to
different
the
world.
same thing. Somebody's
That's a
allowed to
different
sell a tour. Somebody's
that's a
allowed to
different
sell a
world,
pre-booked
Siobhan.
tour, and and then, like I said, has a boat with 50 seats. And
Siobhan,
you
you're
want
in a
to know the
different
joke,
world.
Sabrina? You want to know the joke about it? Someone is selling a tour with for 200 seats, and they still have to come and use people like Miss Melita who don't have access to pre-booking, and they have to suck salt sometimes and be
Siobhan,
paid
you're in a different
almost
world. You're on the
nothing.
So
boat
hold on,
tour
hold
part of
on.
it.
You're on the sea, Siobhan. Miss Melita is
Mhm.
explaining
Exactly.
something that is a total different environment when you're actually sitting out there
Exactly.
with a bus, whatever type of vehicle you have. It's totally different. Even though
Siobhan,
you are
Siobhan in the
showing a light
seaside.
on another area as well, which says for sure that there is something wrong. Because if Miss Melita is doing it from that side of it,
Land side.
from the land
The
side,
land
and
side.
you are
And they're
staying
doing
and
it from the
feeling from
seaside.
the
Yeah.
seaside, then Houston, we have a bigger problem than we're thinking that is going to
Exactly.
impact the
I know what
overall
I see what
tourism
they're going through now,
package.
Sabrina. Sabrina, I see what she's going through, you know. I
Mm-hmm.
see what the seaside going through. Like I see it. I see it. I see what the seaside going through, you know.
Mm.
And I but she focused on the seaside, but she
Off.
not
So
explain it properly because I am
what
on the land side.
what is the fix? Is it that you all are not satisfied that those persons with who are in the position to make policies changes, the enforcement arm again is failing, or are you feeling it's like it's just whoever?
I think
What
it's
do you
just a
feel?
lack of
One at a time.
structure.
One at a time.
There's a lack of structure, there's a lack of rules, and even where there are rules, they're barely being followed. And the rules, some for me and some for thee, the rules
Oh,
aren't being applied fairly
evenly
across
across
the board
everybody.
to everybody.
Well, that's
Okay.
not fair. What's the sense
And
of having
it
rules?
depends, but then it's hard to point out, and then people get frustrated and say, ah, screw it. Well,
Ah.
if this is all I can get, then this is what I'm going to have to do. If this is what I got to do, this is just what I got to do. If I got to send my boat out, and she's right. I can only speak from a boat perspective. If I got to send my boat out with just enough money to pay my crew, then that'll be what it is. Just so, because you got to pay them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's all I can do, pay
But it's
expenses,
not
then
right.
that'll
It's
be.
not right. It's not right.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. And but like I said, part of the problem is that pre-booking. Yes and no. That is part of the problem, Sabrina. Because what I'm saying is why? Okay, Cayman Airways only got 240 seats. There's always a oversell allowance for
Mm-hmm.
somebody to cater
Anything
for
can
somebody
happen.
not
Anything can
showing up.
happen. Why there's
But
wait list.
Cayman Airways can't oversell their flight by 220 seats.
Yeah.
They only got one aircraft, and only one aircraft is leaving for Miami at 7 o'clock in the morning. They don't have an alternative. You understand what I'm saying? And if your license, if your boat capacity is only 200, that's where your pre-book tour should stop. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry. It doesn't
But
allow everybody.
That's where Mr. Jefferson with the man. He walked up
Exactly.
straight to the plane and he told the straight plane, whatever your capacity is all you're
That's what
allowed
you're
to get.
getting. That's
Everything
all
else
you're
is have to
getting.
keep it. Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was the
Absolutely. And
man.
that's how it
He was the
should be.
only
But
man.
what
He
I'm
was the
saying
only
is,
man on tourism.
what I'm saying is, why is it that Melita can't go home? An island tour takes what, 3 hours, Miss Melita?
2 hours.
Why is it that she can't go home with 3 tours a day? That's 2 hours a
No,
piece.
no,
30 minutes each
no,
way
no,
for traffic.
because the length of the time the ship is there. I'm not expecting three
No,
tours.
I'm just
One
saying
tour is fine. One tour is
why you
fine.
shouldn't be. Yeah, but some days you're not even getting that. Some days you
No,
can't
I
even
know.
get that.
I appreciate whatever I get. I appreciate whatever I get. You understand? I appreciate whatever I get. But I shouldn't have to have no competition
With
to
somebody
let me
who's
not
already
pay.
got pre-booked. I get what you're saying.
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
Hmm.
So I don't know, Sabrina, but like I said, it is a mess all around. It is a mess all around. The entire tourism product is suffering as a result of these. I don't even want to call them nuances because they're not nuances. These are things
But
that
you
they've
also
known
know,
about for
Siobhan,
decades.
do you also know that the pre-book people that's on top of this island is back people that's not on this island though.
Repeat
Well,
what you
I
said.
was
Sorry,
about
I
to
didn't
ring.
understand that.
I
Hold
was
on,
about to
Siobhan.
ring that bell.
Oh, well, repeat
Their
what she said in
companies,
layman's terms.
their companies here, packing companies that's not even from Cayman. So they're
Oh,
companies that got their business spread out all over the different Caribbean islands.
oh,
I
oh,
tell you, and I ask you, I tell you.
Let me just
I'm not
interject here a
asking, I tell
minute.
you.
okay.
I believe, and I stand corrected, Sabrina, it may have been during your tenure or just before. Do you remember? I want to say it was Mr. Azad Miller who said that certain industries, like tourism, should be protected for Caymanians only. You recall that? If
I've
it wasn't him, it may have been Mr.
I've
Anthony Eden.
I've heard a number of them use that line, but to say where it was derived
Re-
and who continuously
I
thing,
thought it. I
yeah,
thought it
yeah.
was Mr. Azad. Like
I
took it to
can't really say
Parliament,
to be honest, but I know for
and
sure that during my tenure,
Sabrina,
what is being
Sabrina,
described as right now was actually we had a group that came in and spoke to us.
Sabrina,
yeah.
let me highlight something. You remember that tour that tried to take over Smithco?
Yes.
hmm
Okay.
hmm
Check and see where that company is now.
Oh, okay. I got dig up
Okay.
in that one.
Check,
Okay.
check everywhere. Everywhere. Not there, okay? Everywhere. Okay?
Yeah,
Everywhere.
it's really a crying shame
And and
that
yeah.
the people who built this industry are not the ones who are able to take the greatest advantage of it.
Well, I'm sorry, but
And
what I'm
and
what I'm hearing here
that
is a
company is
number
not
of
in Cayman.
things. There's a number of things. There's a lack of enforcement. There's a lack of accountability. There is a lack of clear guidelines in legislation or policy framework. And guess who suffers? Persons like yourselves who are in the industry, be it land
Okay?
or sea, but
Okay?
mostly nationally, it's going to impact our brand, our tourism product, which is one of the key
Okay?
pillars that we are in that has,
Thank you.
a huge impact on our
People,
income and the
Sabrina,
people.
people that do have my kind of license. So they're out there doing my job and I have to pay for my license to make sure I can do my job. But they're out there doing my job with no license, nothing.
So that's
Okay? They're
accountability
hired.
and no enforcement.
They're they're out there doing my job and they as a dispatcher or whatever. But yet they're able to drive buses
Hmm.
and
Mhm.
all this foolishness, okay?
Well,
And nobody checks on these things, Sabrina.
but
No,
that
Nobody
is
no,
the
checks on these
operation.
things.
This is the
But they make
operational
sure.
arm. It's the
but they're
management from the
running me
Port
down.
Authority board.
But
There are
I was just
also
about to
risks as
say.
Exactly.
well. Hmm.
Exactly. But they're
Hmm.
But
running me down. They're
But
running me down.
what I'm saying is, but this is where this is why I said earlier, one set of rules for thee and one set of rules for me. When she goes to get her license, her taxi license renewed,
Hmm.
they're allowed to put her through 900 tests. They're allowed to because the bus is hers, the bus is in her name, and she is the driver operating her bus. You understand?
Right.
But Sabrina can buy a bus,
And farm it out.
open up.
Even the
Sabrina
pastors,
see
Sabrina,
Hold
even
on,
the
Miss Melita.
Sabrina
pastors,
Hold on.
see
Make
tours.
Siobhan finish, and then I'll go to you, Miss
She's
Melita.
allowed to you're allowed to get your tour license. You're allowed to hire a dispatcher, and there are no clear cut rules that I can recall. I stand corrected if they are. There are no clear cut rules in terms of, and all you're saying is you're hiring this person as a dispatcher. Those are the persons that Miss Melita are speaking of, that she is competing with. So guess what? That person is solely hired to assist with dispatch. But those persons are not having to go through the same
That
licensing
she the
regime
rigor,
that she
the
has to
rigor.
go through.
Hmm.
That she has to go through and pass. In some instances, Miss Melita, correct me if I'm wrong, these freaking people can barely speak English.
Okay, hold right there,
English,
Siobhan.
They
Go
can
ahead, Miss
barely
Melita.
speak
English,
English.
English. When you go hell, when you go hell, or you go to the farm and tell turtle got things. What I tell you,
With that gawa?
Mm-hmm.
things or
The
wings.
what?
The
Mm.
turtle, the turtle, yeah, got
The
wings.
turtles got wings.
The turtles got
Mm-hmm.
wings.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man. Yeah,
Oh,
man.
I did.
Hell hell is on fire because I wear black.
What? Dear
But this is
Jesus.
this is my fear, and this is what I keep speaking about. It is a complete diminution of our tourism product.
Or the house before Silver Sands with the old arch is Opera House.
Is Oprah house? Is Oprah
Yeah,
Winfrey's
man.
house?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
The house that's before
Because the
Silver
arch,
Sands is Oprah
because look,
Winfrey's house.
because the arch is old.
Oh my God. And these are
Yeah,
ambassadors.
man.
These are persons who are
There
doing
you go.
these.
Tours.
Oh, we need
Yeah, man.
we need
Sabrina,
spotters. We need persons. You see, like how I was
We
showing all
have
of my
them.
assets
We have
on
them.
Siobhan, remember how you
We
saw
have
me
them.
showing my assets along the beach? I should have actually done that in one of these tour buses. Remember, we had a caller
100%,
who challenged
100%,
me in doing it, and I think I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it on. I'm going to take it on.
Yeah, everybody know you to be. You
100%.
can't
You know what
tell.
I want you to do, Sabrina?
No, it could probably be
Everybody know
Crystal
you.
Gale
You
or
can't do
somebody
that.
else.
You want me
You
to? You
can't do
want me
that,
to?
John. Everybody know you.
You want me to tell you what you try to do?
What?
Our port is a port of entry, a different mode of entry than the airport, but a port of entry no less.
Gotcha.
That is the first impression of visitors who come here by sea. That is the first impression, and what a disgrace it is.
Now, what
What
are
a
you talking
disgrace.
about now? Because hold on now.
You gotta walk. Hold on. You gotta walk. First of all, I don't care whose feelings it hurt or whose feelings it don't hurt. First of all, I've been to quite a few places. I've been to Panama, I've been to Canada, I've been to England, I've been to quite a few places. And guess what? When I go to Panama, it is a Panamanian. When I go to Canada, it is a Canadian. When I go to the US, I believe it's an American.
And I ain't judging us. We have a long
Good
ways
for
to
you.
go. And
Good
I
for
ain't
you.
judging us. And I
Right?
ain't judging
I thought she was
But
going
you
somewhere
imagine,
else, though, Miss
but
Melita.
yeah,
I thought she was talking about
not
infrastructure.
directly. I am.
I'm
But
not
no, I'm not
judging us
talking about
directly because
infrastructure
a lot
per
of us
se.
haven't traveled in.
Hold
But
on,
I'm
Miss Melita. Hold
I'm
on.
telling you that your first impression is when you arrive, and your last impression is when you leave. At the port, you have the first person that you encounter once you step beyond the gates of excuse me, when you step beyond the gates onto what we deem our shore, where customs and immigration says, you are on our shore, is a foreign security guard who can barely speak English. Okay, to get back in, to go to the ship, it's a foreign security guard. When you leave in Cayman, it's foreign security guards. That is our tourism product, whether they like it or not. That is the impression that that people have when they come, and that's the impression that we have for them for when they leave. It is an embarrassment. It is an
Well, ladies, I'm
embarrassment.
going to ask you to wrap it up because we got a straight line. Calling. I'll call you. Caller, I'll call you back. So,
I will leave you guys there, Miss Melita. We got plenty of work to do. I don't know if we'll get it done.
Listen, I could listen.
she's gone, but I got to ask you to wrap it up for me, Miss Melita.
I know. Listen, I could rent a book about that waterfront.
Oh, wow.
From the top to the bottom.
Anyhow.
From the top to the bottom. It's embarrassing.
Well, we won't stop talking about it, but I thought where she was going is that in comparison to some other ports, exactly, but which goes into a total different conversation now, because we heard where that conversation came up about a cruise berthing facility because of ours being used for dual roles as a cargo port and cruise. And so are we saying now is the time for the conversations to be had? I don't know. Let's stick a pin right there and we can come back to this definitely in another episode. But thank you, Miss Melita.
I'm trying to buy.
All right, my love. Sure.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. There we have it. It is open mic and I love it. As we get back here, let me call back that caller. Here on Sabrina Speaks, the phone lines are open, 936-8255. I just want you to know that when one person is speaking, it's always better to just one at a time to speak. But I know how it gets. It's very emotive. And this is something that has been going on for quite some time. We got another caller on the line. Good evening, caller. You're live on Sabrina Speaks. What's on your mind?
Good evening, Sabrina. You guys got a very important topic talking about tourism
Go
and
right ahead.
our port. Or like Siobhan said, our first impression is when the people get off the port, and our last impression is when they leave. So that's how they found how Cayman is.
So would you say we have gotten to the point now as a national discussion that we really possibly, or not possibly, that we really need to have the true conversation of looking for a cruise berthing facility? Do you feel we're at this point, or some serious enhancement with the current setup, including systematic changes, laws, regulations, and better enforcement? But aesthetically, looking at the port in its current dual role operating standards, do you feel the time has come where we really need to have that national conversation yet again?
I think we need to have that conversation. We need to have that one. I mean, for distinguishing between cargo and cruise. Yes, we need to get something sort of that. Yes, it is. It is not. It has done its job, and we now need to enhance it somewhere. Whether we got do a port somewhere about, or enhance what we got. But first of all, we got a bigger problem than just a port. The people or ambassadors that are supposed to be representing Cayman is doing a very, very poor job. That's my opinion. I work at the port. I see it every day, and I'm very embarrassed of their behavior.
Can you define exactly what that poor behavior is? What is not to
Yes,
standard?
yes, ma'am. We got a lot. This is one part of it, and like I try to explain it on all sides. We got the taxi dispatch. We got the taxi operators, and then we got private operators that are working on the port, and they're out there. In my opinion, they sound like hyenas. They're out there. They're out there screaming to the top of their voice, and that's everybody. Well, there with signs screaming to the top of their voice, and it's very embarrassing of their behavior because they're even arguing amongst themselves, and not no quietness amongst themselves in front of guests, arguing over guests. Their behavior is ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
I call reaching out to the director of the port. I don't think that's Brevon, right? I think it's Brevon Elliott. I think it is Brevon. I'm not to be there to be corrected, but whoever is the director of the port and the Minister of Tourism needs to come out on the port on the cover. Don't come out presenting themselves, and just stay back and
Witness
watch
this for themselves.
Yes, and watch the behavior that is being portrayed for Cayman. We are worse than a third world country. We are worse.
Wow.
We are worse. That's number one. You got them out there with their arguing amongst them. They say arguing amongst themselves. We got like Melita was talking about these companies taking free books. We got companies out there that are representing, say they're Caymanians, but they're representing other countries, businesses for other countries
That are not
like,
here.
that are not here. Like Siobhan Lim said, it used to be whatever your license cover. Let's say for boats and buses, I'm going to make a reference.
Miss Melita, I have to call you back because this is straight. Hold on, Miss Melita. I'll call you back. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
The buses is on a different level compared to the boats. So, like Melita and them said, they're not getting enough business because you got some of the companies, just like for instance, they got 3 boats. And their capacity is only 150 passengers. I'm just making a reference. But they're allowed to book 500 on the ship.
Which is
Now,
what Siobhan was alluding to. Mhm.
exactly. So why are they allowed? The ship should be notified how much that company can carry. Your license, when your boats are inspected from Port Authority,
Mhm. Mhm.
under your license, Port Authority knows
How much your
how
capacity
much
is.
your boats, how much boats you got, and what covers your license.
Mhm.
And again, it could be enforcement. Port Authority needs to put something in place to notify the companies that they're not allowed to book. Because I can remember when Mr. Frankie Banks, God rest his soul, was doing water sports, he was told that he could only book 105 passengers because that was what his capacity covered.
Mhm.
Now you
That's
got people that can book all like 500 and only got 3 booked
yeah.
because and they're taking what they're doing is they're doing it for a small price, or they're giving the boat people a very small price to accommodate theirs, but it only makes the company that is overseas get a better business,
Mhm.
which is wrong. Which
Okay.
is wrong. It should be what if your capacity is only 60
It
passengers, then you
shouldn't
should
go
only
beyond
take
that. Based on the length
exactly
of time the boat's going to be in port, that should be easy fix. But it tells me again, caller, that there is a serious systematic issue here. It is an
enforcement.
operational enforcement systematic issue, and it's going to impact our product. But
Yeah,
thank you so much for your contribution. Leave me there.
you're welcome.
All right, my
Bye-bye.
love. There we go. But ladies and gentlemen, what is your take on this? Many of persons right now are actually cruising. We have a lot of Caymanians who see this as their best vacation. Cruising is one of my favorite types of holidays. I could be honest with you. And oh, here we go. Oops, what did I do here? Good evening, caller.
Good evening.
Yes, ma'am.
I respected the caller before this.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, for authority to know what's going on, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
For authority to know what's going on, because they're on top of the dock walking around and monitoring everything. The port, so for authority to know what's going on. This has been years now.
But Miss Melita, what's the fix? You're saying they're doing it. What's the fix?
No, no, no,
We can't
no.
just be so nonchalant about it. And then you guys are living it, you're feeling it, it's impacting. That's not enough. I mean,
Exactly. But what I'm saying is that they know what's going on. They're out there walking around, but what are they doing about it?
what is it going to take? A national disgrace, embarrassment, a huge national lawsuit, some huge fight to go out there, and then it's going to be topical.
But we're not like that. So
No, I
what is
understand that,
that?
but it's
So
only
what
a
is
matter
that?
of time. We're trying to be proactive. You've been saying
Exactly.
this has been years of systematic failures that continues now to erode. You are saying that is alleged that there are representatives from the Port Authority who are walking around. They're seeing these breaches. They're seeing what's happening, yet nothing is being done. You have made
Because it's
3
a job.
reports. Nothing
Because
has been done.
it's a job for them. They're not business.
Ah. They're
It's a
getting
job
paid
for
whether or
them.
not you get one or none.
It's a job for them. They're getting a salary. They're not business with us. They're not business with us. Listen, I've heard them cuss their own employees. Okay? I've heard them stand up cuss, literally cuss, verbally, cussing them, cuss like dirty words.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard them physically, mentally, emotionally bring down their own employees. So,
But for not bringing in enough, or for not being aggressive enough.
they don't have respect for nobody or there.
Oh, and this is
They
all
don't.
happening in the front of tourists.
Listen to me, TD. This is a serious situation, you know. So when the white man walk in and they don't like him, they don't like him because you know what, they can't do what they gotta do. You understand what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Say no more. Mm, okay. Oh wow. Well, I'm really hoping that the powers at be will actually hear this, because it would be a crying shame on every single person, resident, Caymanian, generational, paper, transitional. Once you call Cayman your home, should something major go down there and all of this information right now has been spoken of not once, not twice. You have shared these experiences over and over again. We have seen previous articles. Now that the Compass has archives, you would see where there for years have been articles talking about the behaviors and all that sort of stuff that has been displayed out there. And here we are still having this conversation in 2026. It's obviously getting worse.
They're not business. They're not business. They're there for the dollar today. They're only there to make a salary. They're not business. They're not business.
The only one's going to feel this is the Cayman Islands' reputation, and it's
Exactly.
going to damage our tourism product. And
And
what's
the owner man had not to do something about it. He dead and gone.
well, let's hope that the powers that be will actually see and hear what's being transpired, what's being shared here today, and obviously, if there's any way of capturing footage. But in my humble opinion, like you rightfully said, if a representative or their senior staff from the operational arm want to see this, there are means and ways of you going and witnessing this stuff, and you can be incognito and no one needs to know.
They're not business. Not business.
This can be random. This can be so random, and you accomplish the same thing. Outside that, it's nothing hard. Everybody is recording you if they see you sitting down at a bar or something, or you're dancing or you're speaking to somebody. Everybody brings out a camera. It isn't. Is it? These are the things that you need to capture, because this is standing up for national pride. This is standing up and send it through to the persons who are responsible or leaders and that sort of stuff. These are the things that you need to highlight.
But they want to stand up in my chair. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They want to stand up my chest. Tell it come.
Okay.
I'm ready for him. I'm ready for him.
Oh, wow.
Listen to me. I'm not going to where to go, you know. I don't have nowhere to go.
It hurts my heart to hear these stories, because this is your livelihood, but more so on a national
perspective. This is my home.
Yes. But from a national stance, this is Cayman. Home. This is our product.
This is my home. So they think they're brave, I brave her. In my chest.
Do you think that this becomes more highlighted now that we're in the season and things are slow, and we'll have one boat here, one boat there, and then we'll have three, but now you're feeling the crunches of a slow season? But first of all, Miss Melita, has there been anything called a slow season in 2026 for what you do?
Slow season? We've been slow from the high season. We've been slow from high season.
Oh. And what's considered high season and what's considered? What months are considered high?
From October to April.
Is high.
At the same time of day, whatever is coming here is what we got to work with. But they have a full-time job, so they're not business with us. Because not every ship coming here is that we can work with to make us a salary. But at the same time, they have a job.
Who is they? They, the powers that be? The lawmakers? Okay. Exactly. I just want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying.
They have a job, so they get paid regardless. But we have to hustle to make our salary. Understand? But my chest is broad, My chest is broad today.
Okay.
So they won't gonna fight me, they're not gonna fight me.
So you're not feeling right now that the powers that be are giving this industry all of the ills, all the things that have been pointing out, enough attention, because it's not directly impacting their income. Whether or not you're out there hustling, whether or not there are breaches, infringements, lack thereof of policy and structure, they don't care.
It's so bad I got sick. I got sick,
Oh, wow.
It's so bad, but they have an AFC doing nothing. They have an AFC doing nothing. I got sick because I have to go there, sweat and come home. I literally, physically, mentally, I got sick.
With what you're seeing happening, and you're feeling that there's no representation.
I've never had to go through this. I've never had to go through this. I've never had to go through this.
And it continues to get worse, because every day you go out there, you have to see it, and it's like it's on deaf ears.
It's worse because we have, they're putting people in our way. You have people that put in our way that we have to compete against. That we shouldn't have to compete against.
And it's not like you're not seeing it. If you are seeing it and you're there, Why can't those who are getting a salary, the operational arm, not just the elected arm is what I'm getting from you, do their jobs and actually hold people for breaching of laws? But I'm getting, it is alleged that there's some possibly underhandedness going on, is what is being assumed. Why you're feeling that no one is upholding and enforcing the law.
I said no more, Anna. I said no more today.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Love you.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Oh my goodness. My heart goes out to those persons who are in this industry. The phone lines are wide open, 936-8255. Should you be somebody that is in this industry seriously impacted? Are we scared of speaking up because you're seeing exactly what is being shared here today and you're feeling that you could be even blackballed or there should be you could be victimized for speaking the truth? Now, where do we look at what you have heard shared here from all three persons, given their opinion, who obviously are in the tourism industry and is seeing this? Based on what was shared, this is something that has been going on for decades. Breaches, no accountability, no upholding of the law. It's like people are just going rogue out on the dock, is what is being alleged. At what point do you draw the line? Or is it not my circus, eat my monkey? But is that the right approach to take when we depend on tourism? And hopefully you may win the hearts of someone who takes a cruise, come here on shore for maybe 4 hours, 6 hours, maybe 7 hours. We've heard one caller said that the ships are now coming in much later. Do we actually look at this and own up to the behaviors and actions of everybody that is actually working in this industry and take this on as something that will impact us? You have 6 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours to leave a positive impression on those who choose to visit our shores, sometimes for the first time, by cruise. If that is what is being alleged, and some of the stories that are being shared, is what they actually receive when reaching our shores, do you know that that could be a huge turnoff for them even wanting to do stay over, like come again by plane and stay over longer, having a more personal, intimate experience? But here's the split side of all of this. Where do we as Caymanians stand truly and honestly when it comes to cruise tourism? Where do we as a nation stand on this topic? I think, and I don't give my opinions too often, that it only becomes a political football when it's that season. When you hear the persons who are paying their bills, putting food on the table, paying for their own medical expenses, this is their livelihood. This is their home that is saying, look, it's bad enough that we're fighting for what crumbs drop off the table, but it's worse now when even the crumbs has a net now that not even that we are getting because something is seriously lacking. Where do you stand when it comes to cruise tourism? Where do you stand if it is that time that we have the true, honest, open, frank discussion, respecting all sides when it comes to cruise tourism? Nationally, are you at the point where you're like, forget it? Continue to be the unique gem of the Caribbean, where we share a port with cargo and cruise, yet our population continues to climb. And we're seeing where that is even being hampering the importation of goods to put food on our table and otherwise. Or are we going to really have a conversation? Are we enhancing the port for cargo? Or are we going to do one for cruise? Or guess what? are we going to do it for both? Are we going to maintain what we have on the port front for cruise? Or are we going to create another facility somewhere else for cargo? These are simple questions nationally, respectfully, that needs to be asked yet again and be answered from an unbiased person. Not taking sides, not pro, not con, but to get the true, honest feedback. Because these are real lives that are hurting. These are real people who have bills to pay. But on a bigger front of things, what does that say for us as the Cayman Islands? It is great to see the beautiful reports of how our tourism is skyrocketing. There's built up demand, there's pent up demand. We got airlift bringing in this, and yet we're hemorrhaging from another part. Where do we strike the balance? Have you lost hope when it comes to fairness? Are you joining the list of those who are not satisfied with what you feel can be done where accountability is concerned, where upholding of our laws is concerned? I'm quite sure. These are some of the same complaints that we're hearing, not only in the tourism industry, we're hearing it in other areas. So, Cayman, the bigger question is, where are we losing sight? Why does it feel as though laws are not even being upheld, not being enforced? And it's not like we're short of legislation. It's not that we're short of policies. But if the gatekeepers are not gatekeeping, guess what? It's becoming the wild, wild west. Is that what we want plastered on international news? Why can't we be proactive? Why do we have to be reactive? If the common bystander and citizen and true lovers of the Cayman Islands can see some of this hideous, embarrassing behavior that continues to display across the tourism sector, and especially in this area, why isn't it that the gatekeepers, the enforcers, are not gatekeeping? And then you ask, is there value for money? Are we getting value for money when the operational arm fails? Are we getting value for money when the legislative arm fails? Are you getting value for money when laws are not being upheld or there lacks teeth, but yet there appears to be no political will? These are all very sound questions to ask. But how far can you push it before it explodes? What I'm getting is not fair mongering. I'm getting from Caymanians who are in the industry that are saying it is a waste of time. Now, when your own citizens are feeling that it is a waste of time, it is creating a void, a space, a gap for all sorts of nefarious acts to happen. Is that where we want to go? Or are we going to band together, stand together, respecting each other's views, opinions, and try to get us back on the right trajectory without greed, without bias, without political affiliation? And I know some of you may say, oh my God, she's just talking that like, at the end of the day, it is that easy. Well, you know what? It is that easy. It is that easy. And I'll repeat, we're not short of laws. We're not even short of policies. What we're short of is a lack thereof of implementation. Good evening, Lisa. It's good to have you commenting here with us this evening. Lisa is weighing in, and I read, "Good evening, Sabrina. This needs a march to take place against the Caymanians, against what the Caymanians are up against with this topic, because it will affect the tourism product. This is our homeland, and the tourist comes here to enjoy their vacation and see the tourist attractions and get the proper information on their tours." Well, Lisa, I'm going to be very honest with you. I was very saddened. And this is not the first time that I've actually heard that you would drop off of your seats when you actually hear what is being spewed or what is being shared with tourists when they're on some of these tours. Now, there's nothing wrong with putting a little bit of humor into it, but when there's actual false material that is being shared with those persons who are on those tours, and with the power of Google, AI, and searching, and I know that the Ministry of Youth Culture and Heritage, Youth Sports Culture and Heritage do have know your landmarks and all that sort of stuff. Some of these tour bus operators need to actually do that themselves. But with the test that is being done for these persons to get their license, what is being alleged right now is that they're persons taking out businesses, and not everybody who's out there selling these tours and otherwise as dispatchers are subject to the same rigor. That then, my friends, makes this go down to a different pathway. Are we then saying that anybody out there, dispatcher, no matter what their job title is, should go through this test, some similar rigor of testing? So when they open their mouths, they're all supposed to be at least speaking things within a certain standard. Is that where we're getting through? Because what I'm hearing, if that is what needs to be done, but yet these complaints that are coming out right now existed for decades. Here we are putting on another suggestion, highlighting another problem, and you're not dealing with the belly of the beast. And that is the principal foundation of any thriving democracy, and that's accountability. Accountability and enforcement. Nothing will be achieved unless you have those two things. It doesn't matter what kind of laws you have in place. If there's no enforcement, no accountability, pretty much sleeping at the wheel. If everyone falls asleep at the wheel, guess what's going to happen? Like the saying goes, play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. That has a serious impact when you're saying that on a national level. That can be pretty damning when you're speaking that on a national level. So I go back to the question that I asked earlier on. Has the time come where we need to have the public discussion again, truly and honestly, with this time of making a hard, firm decision? Do we keep the cruise birthing facility in its current position in central Georgetown, enhancing it, making nice air-conditioned buildings, enclosure, yada, yada, whatever it is you need to do out there, and then relocate what we know as a cargo port facility somewhere else so that it's not combined? That's a question. It's not a statement, just in case you're just tuning in. Have we reached that point for national discussion? I know that there's going to be some choo on the side about this, that, no, forget it. Let's pay attention to the question that is being asked. Have we reached that point where we need to separate cruise and cargo? Is it then the decision to keep cruise in the capital, Georgetown? Last time I checked, it's still the capital, right? Because some things change nowadays and we don't know, But the capital of the Cayman Islands is still Georgetown, right? Please correct me if I'm wrong. I was off for a week. Anything could have changed. But the capital of the Cayman Islands is still Georgetown. So if we want to keep the cruise berthing facility in the capital of the Cayman Islands, Georgetown, and relocate the port, cargo port, to somewhere else, what's your take on that? Drop your views and your comments below. I would love to get your feedback on this because I'm quite sure there has been enough discussion. There is enough material that can answer that question if you get true and honest feedback based on what has been shared here. And in tandem with answering that question, policies, laws be reviewed now that they're saying it's better collaboration, more openness and transparency, intergovernment agency talking where now, when we're dealing with this, you're dealing with two ministers, the Minister of Tourism and the Minister for Ports. Current Minister of Tourism is our Honorable Deputy Premier. The Minister for Ports is Honorable J.E. Banks. So you're going to have cross-ministry that will lead on this if this is a new trajectory and priority that maybe is at the forefront. I don't know. Or could it be? Then you're going to have the financial implications. The Minister of Finance. Of course, your Premier. But what I'm saying is it has to be funded. Do we do private-public partnership? I'm quite sure all the information is there, right? We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Who is going to have the fortitude to say, look, let's get this going, but respecting the environmental side and respecting the realities that maybe the time has come that it needs to be separated. Whether we want to be able to accommodate larger ships or not, I don't think one person could disagree that our arrival for tourists right now, for cruise tourism, for what we label ourselves as a jurisdiction, competing with others in the region, is up to speed. It lacks luster. Not for how we're labeling ourselves. That, some may say, is a disgrace. And that's just the facts. This is not by any means pro or against any of it. It is just the facts. And if we're saying we're protecting our tourism product, broad brush, it should be replicated from air and also sea. Doesn't matter whether or not we want to bring in the mega or the more bespoke, medium-sized ships. For what we label ourselves as a jurisdiction in this country, for the billions of dollars that is pretty much going over our heads, we can do a lot better. Damian Charles is weighing in. What about writers who have to come to Cayman and write books about Cayman history and landmarks? That needs to be verified before a certain government department. Prints it. I guess that's what you're trying to say. Damian Charles also weighs in saying the North Terminal was poorly designed with no bus depot area to have an orderly line and porters assigning passengers to the next bus. This will stop the haggling and other types of behavior and poor representation. There you go. But like I said, I would like you to weigh in on this as we have less than 5 minutes to go before we end this episode of Sabrina Speaks. And we will continue with the open mic segment here because this is the summer edition. And but it is quite interesting where this is going with this conversation and whether or not it will just be viewed as another 9-day talk, which would be an indictment on our product, which would be an indictment for everyone who's ever voiced their opinion, who's crying out for help. And it is a sad day when your people are losing hope, feeling this way. It is a sad day. And when you're getting more and more feeling and saying these things, and it's not only, you may have a loud voice today on this episode from the cruise, from the land and sea part of it, but I'm telling you, it's coming out of other areas as well where people are getting frustrated and feeling let down. Lisa is also saying that, Sabrina, I believe the tourist port should remain in Georgetown and place the cargo port at another location. Thank you for weighing in. And of course, I know you guys can actually comment under other names if you don't want to be so brazen and have your right name. What's your take on it? Do you think here we are on August 10th, 2026, that it's time for that to happen now? Forget about, you see what I get? You see what I get? If we had just done this from then, forget it. Just forget what has happened in the past. Please, please move forward. The second you hear about that, you see this and go back in the past, it's gone. That's time lost. That's time that's gone that we will never get back. How do we look forward? How do we move forward? How do we protect what obviously you all are describing is a deteriorating industry that could have serious impact and implications on our tourism product? How do we best move forward? That's the big question. Even after this show ends, you're free to make your comments, voice your opinions on there, on the substantive questions that were thrown out here. I don't have the answers, but you guys do. You, every citizen of the Cayman Islands, have value. You can chart the course. Remaining silent does not help. And I know a lot of you are frustrated. You're saying, what's the sense, Sabrina? They're not listening. You know, hear what Miss Melita said. Nobody cares. It's not them. You can't stop, though, because you cannot only be valued at a certain cycle, at a certain time, when life continues. The bills don't fade. No, they don't go away. Nothing changes. But you do have a say. Lisa is also saying the shops are right there in Georgetown. They can walk around town. Damian Charles is weighing in and saying, if the port is moved, the trucking expenses will increase to deliver to customs cargo area. Look, Damian, trust me, if that is a decision, with everything else, we're getting all of these increased fees anyhow. What we're looking at is the elephant in the room. Can we continue to operate a dual facility for cruise and cargo? The experts will figure that out. But at some point, we're going to have to deal with the elephant in the room, that we cannot continue to operate like this. Many people saying the cruise port, the cargo port needs to be, it's industrial, based on how Georgetown is revitalizing and all that sort of stuff. That heavy industrial stuff should be someplace else. Where? I don't know. I really don't care. We're just asking, as long as it protects the environment and all that sort of stuff. Don't take that I don't care out of context. What we're asking is, if there was a choice, what remains in town? Should it be the cruise or cargo? What would it be? The last time I checked, Georgetown was still the capital of the Cayman Islands. Damien says, of course, the population will increase. That brings us to the end of this episode of Sabrina Speaks right here on the CMR TV platform. It has been a pleasure. Yes, it took a little while for me to get warmed up and heat up. And yep, like those old Buicks, you cranked me. Where's my friend Andrew today? I got to say hi. Alfred, I'll get to you. I'll share all of those pictures tomorrow. And yes, Green Valley Nursery, Don Hides is there. Miss Melita is back. Live happy. How are you? You miss me? I miss you all. I miss you all. Connie Bonnie is still on holiday. OMG, please don't. Ooh, there we go. I see you. Blessed Monday, he says. I trust you had a great vacation break. I don't even know about that. We have to be continued. But put it like this. I'm really happy I took the week off, to be honest. I'm really happy that I did. But you know what? We can continue. I love the vibe. I'm loving the flow. I love when you all call in. I love when things are pressing on you and you want to discuss them and you just come here. It's free flowing. It's not scripted. It's you. This is K-Man. And I love it when it's respectful. I love it. I love it. My opinion doesn't matter here on this space, but yours does. Bringing up the issues, let's talk about them for a bigger, better K-Man. It has been my pleasure bringing you another episode of Sabrina Speaks. I look forward to joining you again tomorrow evening. We may have a guest for a portion of it, not for a long time, for a portion of the show tomorrow. And then as we go into the week, we'll look into that tenancy bill and we go some more into some other bills that are in circulation. Please do have a good evening. Stay blessed. And of course, I can't go without telling you, love you lots. See you tomorrow. Good night. That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, K-Man, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.